Welcome to the Chromaniacs, your weekly look inside San Diego FC and MLS. My name is Craig Elston, joined as always by our Chromaniacs, Tony Sanchez and Alex Pena for episode number 19. 19, our Tony Gwynn episode of the Chromaniacs. Tony, ¿qué pasa, amigo?
I'm ready for whatever this decision day is. I love the way just, it's like monster truck, kind of like the giant used car decision day.
Is that when LeBron picks a team? Is that how that works?
Or his cognac of choice. Yes, correct.
Yeah.
I'm excited for what's going to come here for San Diego FC. Match day 35, the finale of the inaugural season for SDFC. I know, Alex, you're circling decision day. I'm ready and pumped for it. What about you?
Yeah, same here. And, being here in San Diego, I thought this was going to be the week that San Diego FC kind of takes over the, radio waves, the TV screens. And I was getting so excited. I was Monday morning in the car listening to Bed and Woods. Craig came on, talk about SDFC and the wave. And then 2 hours later, news broke. Padre news for the past 4 days has ensued. So, but I'm here on Chromaniacs. We talk about Decision Day 2025, and I'm every bit as excited.
Yeah, Mike Schultz confirmed not the Chromaniac, but now with that silver mane, he actually might be gunning for the crown.
Yeah.
So, gonna keep my eye out for that cuz. If he comes circling around, see what happens with that fella. Yeah, busy week in San Diego, but yes, for San Diego FC now, an opportunity. It's there. At least an international tournament appearance is right there. 3 points away, 3 road points away. How about the Western Conference? Still possible. We're going to talk about it on episode 19 of the Chromaniacs. Also coming up, Training Ground Sound. We'll hear from head coach Mike Ibarras. We'll hear from Amal Pellegrino as they get ready to take a plane tomorrow to Portland. And if they can find their way through the inflatable frogs, the folks with mandolins, and the artisanal cheese shops, if they can find their way, God willing, to their hotel safely, they'll be ready to take on the Timbers. And Timbers Army, oh my God, send in the troops. Don't send in the troops.
Please don't.
We're here. We're ready to go. We're kidding. We're goofing around. All right. Quick housekeeping. Follow us on Instagram at the Chromaniacs, or our man, Terrible SDFC Memes, does an incredible job of capturing key moments from the show, putting them to video, tightening up what we say to make us sound so much smarter. Wow, editing. Amazing. So, yeah, absolutely. Follow us on Instagram there at the Chromaniacs. If you're watching on YouTube, please give us the old thumbs up. Hit subscribe. Hit the notifications bell so you know every time we go live, including maybe a Saturday night post-game show, maybe a Sunday recap. We're going to figure that part out as we fly. Wave play, same night that San Diego FC plays on the road in Portland. They play at home, hosting Chicago. So Dad's got to work, but we're going to figure it all out and get it to you. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you are, if you can hit that 5-star review right underneath the show name, if you can leave a written review, all of those things really help a small podcast like us, small content creators, to find their audience. Okay. Let's get into it. Obviously, nothing happened last week. International play. Marcus Dreyer got a brace coming in off the bench. U.S. under 20 got eliminated along the way. All the kids are back home now. We could talk about desultory draws for the U.S. men's national team. I think that's a different podcast. I'll save that for you boys on Monday night. Take care of all of that. But in the interim, there were results. Catch up has occurred. The catch-up that we knew had to occur when LAFC had 2 matches in hand and Vancouver had a match in hand, and we kept looking at the standings going, wow, SDFC is still in first with these struggles, but are they really? Well, the answer has been solved to those things. Vancouver, Thomas Mueller, right now probably looks like the signing of the year in MLS, the impact signing of the year. Sonny is there. There's other players that could be said. I mean, Dreyer, talk about an impact signing. But, with all that, the way Mueller has come in and just transformed Vancouver into a scoring machine and a winning machine. There they are. We're all even up. Everyone's at 33. And the standings are real now. Vancouver has a 3-point lead. SDFC is within striking range because the 2 teams are tied in wins. And LAFC lurks 1 point off the horizon. Hey, Minnesota lurks 2 points off the horizon. So there is a theoretical chance for San Diego to finish anywhere from 1st to 4th. They cannot finish any lower than 4th. A loss from San Diego and wins for LAFC and Minnesota would push San Diego all the way down to 4. They would still host in the first round of the playoffs if that occurred. But let's start with the best scenario, guys. Vancouver playing an FC Dallas squad that needs 3 points. They are trailing Portland by 3 for 7th. They're right now in playoff position. If they had lost last week, it would have been even more dire. But a team that needs to win at the bottom to either avoid play-in or stay in the playoffs altogether. If SDFC can win at Portland and Vancouver loses on the road, SDFC wins the Western Conference.
And only the second team to do that in their first year since St. Louis City, and back in 2023. It's when it comes to decision day, it's always best to play for something. Seattle, they have nothing to play for. They're going to stay in 5th place. Whether they win or lose, it doesn't matter. They're going to stay in 5th place. But when you're in the position of San Diego FC you're playing for first, you could play for second, with if you get a draw. But there's so much happening here. There's so many different scenarios, and it's great. It's great to be a part of it because that's what the whole build up decision day is. It's like everyone's playing at the same time. You got to be like what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be scoreboard watching Vancouver and FC Dallas and see if FC Dallas can pull an upset. And that'd be great. I mean, I would love to see this team in first and they capture Champions Cup position. So with for being an expansion team and finishing at first, what an amazing year.
Yeah, in some of the audio that we got from training, Abe Cepeda was out there, who does a lot of great work. It was actually asked to Mikey, like, hey, like, are you gonna be close to the screen? You want to know who's scoring at what time, because everybody plays at the same time, right? And he gave a good response towards the end. He's like, oh yeah, like I'm not like that. It's overstimulation. I don't like any of that red goal type of things. And he corrected himself like red zone. But I think he has something with red goal, like a soccer version of red zone would be very interesting. But at the end of the day, like, this is now the business end of the season. This is where the decisions literally are going to be made of where your entire body of work for a whole season ends up. Is it going to have a CONCACAF qualification for San Diego FC? That's still best case scenario. And I think anything from here on out is an added bonus. And I don't think anybody should be, too sad or upset if the road ends in playoffs for SDFC. You made it to playoffs in the first year. Like, that's something that's incredible across the board. But something else that Mikey did point out is that, yes, we are the greatest expansion team in the regular season because Chicago Fire won it in the first year. So I
That's
think
true.
that's where, you'd want Mikey Vadas to be kind of paying attention if he is scoreboard watching anywhere. It's like, okay, made that correction right there.
It's an excellent correction to make, because that is the goal for SDFC going forward, is to win the Audi MLS Cup and lift silverware in their first season. The Supporters Shield has eluded them. But I said at the start of this, a berth in Champions League is in their grasp. It requires 3 points. But if they beat Portland, they will not need help from LAFC. If they beat Portland, they will finish second, and they will be guaranteed a top 5 record in MLS overall, and that gets you in to CONCACAF Champions League. There's still a chance to be the provisional team with a lesser number, and if the MLS champion comes out of the qualified group, another team gets kicked in. So there's a little room to spare along the way, but to keep it neat, clean, cut, and simple for SDFC fans, win at Portland, play in CONCACAF next year, guaranteed.
Yeah, and just win. From here on out, it's just about winning. Don't worry about getting draws in the playoffs. You're gonna understand really quickly. It doesn't matter if you draw. There will be penalties if that happens. So yeah, just win through starting Saturday. Just keep winning, and hopefully our road magic continues, and I think the streak of the unbeaten streak will expand to 10 with a win or a draw, and that also puts us in pretty good company, because we're going to be one of the best away teams for points too. If that happens, well, I think with a win, if we do get a win, we're going to be tied to be one of the best away teams for MLS.
I mean, the records keep piling on, and I think for this team right now, they're focused on next game in front of them, which is a good mentality to have. And I think starting from the Houston match, 4-2, it was a hard fought 4-2 victory, but that was a playoff match for Houston already, and so it provided that sort of next level, dress rehearsal. You're getting closer to opening night, you're getting closer to that big night. These dress rehearsals get more and more important. The understudies start to kind of clear themselves. Who's going to be part of that starting 11, right? You can only start 11 players. So which ones are you going to go for in playoff? And yes, the season of the series of 3 does present an interesting point, and it'll be something to look at in decision day. There's a chance that for the rest of the season, at least up until the first round of playoffs, the only opponent that SDFC sees is Portland.
Yeah.
Which means back to back SDFC versus Portland game. And I don't know what that would mean in a sense for a team that's coming in and doesn't have the experience in playoffs, but what do you think about that? 4 games against the same soccer opponent.
Cards a flying, kicks a flailing.
Yep.
On one and only one level, I would like it, which is theoretically it could open the chance for me to go to Portland. And I mean, listen, Antifa commanders have been calling for weeks, and I haven't answered the bell, but I feel like I need to report to the front lines. I keep doing this joke. Sorry. It's Portland. Portland is a lovely, green, peaceful, delightful place with an incredible soccer culture and like vibrant coffee shops and stuff. And I'd love to go. And I wanted to go this weekend, but I have to work at Wave. And I want to be at that Wave match, by the way. That's as big a match as this match is on their side of the ledger. But if we did play Portland, that means we've got a guaranteed match in Portland. It would give me a chance to go to Portland. So I'd like to do that. For every other reason, I don't want to, which is why I'd like to see the team win on Saturday and get out of the Portland matchup, because as we continue through the list of possibilities, there's still a way to finish second without winning at Portland. You can draw and LAFC on the road, right? I think I'll double check that whether they're at home or on the road. But they would need a draw or a loss against Colorado Rapids, a team that's toward the bottom of the Western Conference bracket. This is where decision day could be really fun, guys, because I would imagine that for LAFC, Cherundolo's strategy would be push everything forward in the first 15 minutes and score. Take a lead and put the pressure directly on Vancouver and SDFC and say, guys, we are a tiger chasing you. We are up 1-0. Oh, we are up 2-0. It's the 25th minute. You better win. You better win. And that's where when they talk about, is Mikey Vadas going to multitask or pay attention? Like, should he in situations like this where the real-time table can truly matter and you can know 30 minutes out, like, hey, LAFC is winning. Like, the draw is not going to work for us.
Yeah, I think so. LAFC is playing away at Colorado. And they're also they're on the outside looking in. They want to get a playoff spot too. I always feel like when you're playing a team that's very desperate and they're trying to get into a playoff spot, anything can happen. The aggression levels are heightened. Yeah, guys are going to get tackled. Guys are going to get fouled. Yellow cards are going to be coming out. Yeah, it could turn into a very wild game for LAFC and Vancouver, because you just don't know. Like, that desperation of this can obviously, when at the end of the season, this makes or breaks your season. It tells your fan base, okay, we got into the playoffs. Oh, we didn't make it. We're a game short. It tells you everything. It tells you if the front office needs to make changes. It tells you if they got to improve, what subtle little improvements they got to do for next year. If you're Colorado, you're gonna try, very desperately to try to get the final playoff spot there. But man, it just seems like the other teams are in pretty, they're in different positions than we are, because we can honestly do nothing and Portland can do nothing and nothing changes. Like, we're going to be in second, they're going to be in seventh place. We end up playing each other, and that might be the safer bet, where it's like, okay, we're just going to pass the ball and nothing's going to happen in this match. But the other teams, they're not so lucky. The LAFC and Vancouver, they're playing against very, very desperate teams.
Enjoy it while it lasts, because again, this may be the one season where this happens, and next season it's just the sophomore slump for a team, or it might just be a constant where this is the real deal. And to be honest, like, I think I have enough data to kind of say, like, if there's not a response for this play style by the rest of the league by now, I think SDFC is in a prime position to make this something that's a constant and just a staple of the league on its own. And the direction that they're heading, Mikey Varas is full steam ahead. They want this victory. They want to win and finish as strong as possible in this season, just so they're as strong and as sharp as they can be going into the playoffs. And I think that's that now the side of the season where health is definitely the most important part of a team's way of playing. You can have your philosophies, you can have your play style, you can have that. But if you don't have the players to do that with, then all that just kind of crumbles at the end, and it's just a matter of time before an actual team comes in and just destroys you in playoffs. But right now, SanDiego FC has the team aspect. They have the confidence. They have everything, all the ingredients that they need to make a playoff run, at least from what I've seen in this league. Now, does that mean that Portland just turns it on because they have the experience, they have the coaching, and it's a different animal? Then that might be something to look at. But every player knows what it's like to play important games, whether it's relegation battles, whether it's up because they're trying to find a place in a European tournament or cups tournaments. Like, they know what it's like to play important situations. So playing 3 games in a series, whatever that means, it's playoffs. It's an important game. That's what it is for these teams.
Well, as we look at the most optimistic situations for SDFC. We should probably also look at what happens if things don't go quite as well up in Portland for SDFC. A third place scenario involves LAFC overtaking San Diego, and that would obviously mean a win for LAFC. But if you could pop the graphic up again, what happens if it's a draw for LAFC? Okay, right. If it's a draw and a draw, but a draw and a loss, that's my question. If we lose at Portland and LAFC draws, now we're tied.
Yeah, we're tied
in points.
We'll be ahead in because of wins.
Done.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll be tied at points ahead because of wins.
So really, that graphic should say win, first place or second place, draw, no worse than second place, but a loss and an LA draw is the same as a draw and a draw. Yeah. You get to the same place. Now, if you draw and LAFC wins,
that's a whole nother story.
Third seed guaranteed, though. You still are the third seed guaranteed. The issue is if you lose, LAFC wins and Minnesota wins. That scenario, and it's shoots and ladders, and you're in the chute, and SDFC shoots down to fourth place. And look, at the end of the day, hosting a home series and then going on the road in the second round, third place and fourth place are the same. It's just a matter of the matchup and whether you want Seattle or whether you want someone else. But after being in first all year, to slide and finish at fourth, it would kind of be at least a mini bummer for SDFC, right? You get Austin in the third spot, you get Portland in the second, but you get Seattle. I mean, Seattle, I don't want to play Seattle in the first round of the playoffs. That seems really hard. Minnesota, we know they have the style to play against us as well. So it's going to be a very interesting bracket. Obviously, there's a play-in for 8 and 9. So dream scenarios, dream worlds, Dallas FC victorious, San Diego FC victorious, first place. You're playing a play-in team in a best of 3. It's a great scenario. Worst case, you're fourth place. You still have home field, but you're playing Seattle, and it's MLS legacy Sounders time. No, it's MLS legacy Timbers time. If you stay in the second place and you play 7th, I mean, Portland's been there, done that. They know what to do. That's not a team I necessarily am super thrilled to face in the first round either. But we'll get into more of what's going on with Timbers right now after we get past our training ground sound. But that's a complete, definitive, straightforward, where will SDFC finish? First, second, third, fourth. Can't be any lower than fourth. And get a point, and it can't be any lower than third. Yeah. So just a draw, and you're guaranteed to finish no lower than third place in the Western Conference standings. Not bad. Not bad at all. Win? Holy crap. And that means you kept things going on the road, too. Absolutely wild. Let's get to training ground sound, guys, and hear from head coach Mike Ivanas, hear from Amal Pellegrino, find out what the club is saying as they get ready to head out to Oregon and take on Portland Timbers.
Match, we're looking for 3 points. Kind of, you can give us first and foremost your assessment of the season so far, and how the team lands into this 34th match, and kind of what you expect out of this game.
Yeah, the season so far, I think the boys have made a tremendous expansion season. Full commitment to who we want to be and how we want to win. And right now, it's the whole focus, though, is actually just on winning the game, the next game, which is always the most important, because we talk a lot here about finishing strong and making sure we hit playoffs in best conditions possible.
Take it away, folks.
Mikey, they say Portland's one of the best environments in the league. What does it mean for you to play in a game like that, especially so late in the season?
Yeah, we love those types of games. That's what every footballer, anybody who loves football, wants to be a part of. We're very fortunate that we get that every time we play at home because I think we have the best environment in the league already. So we're used to it, and players always get a little extra motivated.
And I know you say you're not looking ahead, but there's a possibility you could play this team 4 times in a row. Does that thought cross your mind, or how much does that come into play?
Yeah, zero. We have people at some level in the staff who are looking at all 50, all the different possibilities that could happen. This time of year, there's a lot of if this, then that, or that, and that, and it's just not worth most of the group's effort. There will be a few people keeping an eye on it, so we're prepared when the switch hits. But the rest of us are just focused on winning this game, finishing as strong as possible, and hitting playoffs in the best conditions.
How has it been bringing in some of the national team players, especially someone like Pedro Soma or Luca Bombino, who were away with the youth national?
Yeah, great. We have all our guys back. They're back healthy, and it's always good to just have more energy in the group. The more of us, like I said, it's a family environment, so the more of our brothers that we have back, it's always bringing us energy.
There he is, my dark horse pick for Padres manager 2026. Mikey, throw your hat in the ring. Diversify.
Why not?
I mean, when you go to the winter-spring schedule, you could almost pull it off. You could do a Dion just helicopter from touchline to the dugout, back to the touchline. I mean,
So, like, how would he report to his boss yet be his coach?
Oh, that's true.
Ooh.
That'd be
That's
amazing.
worth a documentary in and of itself.
Like, who takes precedent there? Like, Manny, I need you to. Well, actually, if you want to,
Yeah. Manny's like, listen, you can bench me. Also, I can fire you over there. So just keep that in mind. I mean, listen, could the power dynamic be any worse with that than it would be with Schilt doing the punch down bully thing in the coach's room and the kiss up Manny thing in the locker room? I don't know. Yet to be determined. We'll see where AJ Preller falls on that decision. But guys, other than that, gotta love the singularity of Mikey Varas saying, I've got some quants in the back. We've hired 3 nerds to keep track of the thing that we just devoted 20 minutes to start the podcast. We've asked them all to listen to the Chromaniacs episode 19 so that they can be caught up. But short of that, I'm chilling. I just want to beat Portland, and I don't care about anything else.
It's a good mentality, and it sounds like good news all around. Everyone's healthy. It's good to see Bombino back. He's going to be a really big factor in this game. I think it was against South Africa. He had like 20 passes in the final third, which actually led that match. And it's like, oh man, that's what we were missing. Man, I really wish Bombino was here instead of playing over there. But oh well, I digress. But yeah, he's going to be a big factor in this, and not only in this game, but in the playoffs. And yeah, he's just amazing, and it's great to have everybody else come back healthy. Dreyer's back healthy. Godoy, who only played a match because of yellow card accumulation, so he could only play one. But yeah, it's good news all around.
Yeah, I mean, Dreyer getting a brace. It's really cool. Then the best part, they all came back healthy.
Yeah,
Craig.
It's really all that matters. They're back now. We can play those guys. Let's move along on Training Ground Sound and move to the man who made such a difference when he checked in as the 7 for SDFC, replacing Chucky Lozano. Anders Dreyer sliding to the middle, and all of a sudden goal contributions were flowing from Amal Pellegrino. Let's hear from Pellegrino.
Something like that.
And so last one for my part. The Mikey has been having like some troubles finding the number 9 all season long. for injuries, for other players that come and go, and you now are playing and doing very well in that position. What can you say about that position for the team, the number 9?
We have people that are coming back from injuries and stuff like that. So I don't know what to say about the number 9 position because I try to do my best where the coach put me, but I'm not a number 9. So, but this is football. Yeah, you are not like locked in one position, and as a football player, you want to play, so you will try to do your best. So, yeah.
It's a long season, even if you're playing for one team. For you, what's it been like, sort of there and then here?
Oh, been better in every kind of situations, training-wise, playing-wise, and yeah, like the staff here and everything. Everyone have been taking me with open arms, and me and my family have really enjoyed coming here. Not only football-wise, my family enjoys San Diego too, so that's a big part for me too, that my family is enjoying here too. So yeah.
So they came with you?
Yeah, of course. I'm not going anywhere without my family. So yes.
I'm all Pellegrino. I'm not a 9. I'll do whatever you need, but
don't call him a 9.
No.
Yeah.
That's such a company man right there. You know, the whole San Diego FC thing is just like they're trying to find such versatile players, you know, play not just one position, 2, 3, 4 positions if they can. And Pellegrino's just walking the company line there. It's just like, I play wherever they put me. I don't care.
Well, he did say that somebody's coming back from injury to play that position. And that leads us to kind of the last thing before we turn our eyes directly to the on-pitch battle between SDFC and Portland, which is the weekly Marcus Ingvartsen update. Marcus, who's become a Where's Waldo for SDFC training pictures. It's like, I see him. He's there in the background. There he is. I mean, we've again our talk to him play ratio, Marcus Ingvartsen, completely out of whack. For the Chromaniacs podcast, we've talked about him so much, and he's played. We've definitely talked about him for more total minutes than he's actually played.
Yes,
in the season. So
the most impactful player of San Diego FC.
I mean, let's see what you got, Marcus, when you sub in the 88th minute. Let's see what you got, man. If they do that, we will have learned nothing on Saturday.
I love the memes that Brandon did this week about he spotted Ingvartsen in some training video and he memed it up. It was perfect. But yeah, Marcus is going to be the potentially Super 7 that we've been asking for, hopefully in this playoff race. Because this whole season it's all come down to like who's going to be the 9. What are they going to contribute? And yeah, it's time for Marcus to show it. It's his time. So it's all on you to play as many minutes as you possibly can. Hopefully it's a half. If you give us more than that, that'd be great. But it starts Saturday. Hopefully we can see just a little bit of Marcus. Just show us a pulse. Show us that you're alive and well and healthy. That that we can see you on the pitch.
Yeah, just a proof of well-being on there.
Yeah.
Like, at least be the mascot for somebody, even if you're not playing. Like, just walk on the pitch. Like, you still remember how to lace them up. No, I think at this point, anything that we see from Marcus Ingvartsen is a positive, because this is, again, should tell you and be very clear exactly what this means for somebody like Tomas Angel. Let's get Marcus Ingvartsen 5 minutes, but at all costs, we cannot have him, Tomas Angel, play. Like, anything but him. And it was interesting, just an observation, just a couple of training sessions ago. Like, just after training session and media availability is over, players go back in, they had their food, they're ready, and usually they can take off from there. And so usually the players will sit and they'll eat and they'll kind of confer with everybody. That's when other people come in, maybe visitors, and do some autographs, meet and greets towards the end. But it was a couple of trainings in a row where the first person out, like significantly earlier, was Tomas Angel. And I know we kind of want to move past that, but again, this should just kind of give you the clear lines. And I mean, you're looking at reports even of Luca de la Torre and his loan with Celta Vigo. So at this point, you can tell how much of an important presence Marcus Varston is. Let's get him on there just a little bit. This is who we need. This is if not Yepe, this is who the captain would have been for San Diego FC.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think? I'm just working off Pellegrino's discussion plus the Houston match. Should Anders Dreyer be the 9 in the starting lineup? Or is it a locked in, start a Corey Baird, start a space creator, wing out Lozano and Dreyer, but at some point we're going to sub out Chucky? Do we always want to sub out Chucky? Or at some point we sub out Baird, shoot Dreyer into the middle? Does that mean Pellegrino plays the right wing? Does that mean Lozano switches to the right wing and Pellegrino plays the left wing where he had success against Houston? It's a shuffling of deck chairs here for SDFC, maybe at halftime or something. But if you take him at his word and you add into that, we don't think Ingvartsen can play a half. So we don't. And if he can, he can. And if he can play 90, he can play 90. And, if he can be playoff MVP, amazing. But if he can't, is it worth it, the switch around, putting Dreyer in the middle to get Pellegrino up top on a wing?
You want to take this one first, Tony?
Yeah, I mean, it's a philosophical question that you're really posing, right? Like, do you want to go ahead and grind that opponent down in the first half and then add some speed? Because that speed that you're adding potentially would be Chucky Lozano if he's going to be a substitute in the second half, because then you're trusting that Dreyer is that workhorse. He's the metronome that's going to keep going and changing pace, and he can go 120 minutes because he has that engine in him. But down the middle, is he really worth, going and redlining him in that position where then you're going to be trying to have somebody come in and find their comfort in that 9 position in the second half? I think first of all, if Varston can go, you put him on in the first half. If he can go a half, put him on, see what you have. And then if you're looking for a impact result towards the second half, then that's when you can go ahead and, expand and kind of fidget around with people. But philosophically speaking, for what we've been told, it should be anybody. Next man up. You can put Corey Baird there, and this system will feed itself. But we've seen that that's not necessarily, 1-for-1 exchange rate on some of these players. So I think, look, go with the Houston way of playing. I think that was something that they found success with. If that means you take out Chucky Lozano at halftime, tactically speaking, that's what you have to do to get a result. And does Mikey Varas have then the courage to go ahead and do that and have a lot of questions pointed that way? Then, that's what you do. So I just don't think Dreyer is the best. You don't get the best out of Dreyer in the center forward position, and you want to get the best out of him because he is your best player. Therefore, you start him on his natural position of the right wing. Let him float in, let him do almost what he wants, but you just have to start Dreyer on that right wing.
Yeah, it's almost like if you put Dreyer at 9, then who are you going to play it in his position?
Yeah.
And the only other, like, from what I can tell, the only other left-footed winger that we have is Boateng. And it's like, you're really going to start Boateng and then put Dreyer in the middle and then have Chucky at left wing? Like, it doesn't seem as optimal, with that going. So I think, just kind of keeping things the way they are, it's fine right now until you you're gonna have to figure this out in the off season. Is kind of how I look at things, is because you're kind of too late on trying to fill in that 9 spot.
Well, mentality is everything in
Mhm.
sports. And when I hear Amal Pellegrino say, I'm not a 9, that explains to me every single time that he started at the 9 and
Mhm.
looked terrible
Yep.
and drifted to sleep in an offside position that led to a goal, against on the other side and everything else. Because he doesn't think of himself that way. So he's not playing with confidence when he's there. He's thinking when he's at that position. He's not just reacting. He came into the match as a winger in the second half against the Dynamo, and he just reacted. He played his game, and he did it
Mhm.
down the middle of the field a lot of the time, which is why I think we all said, wow, look at that. He's come in at the 9. But in reality, and he made sure to say that, he came in for Chucky and Dreyer slid over, and that's
Mhm.
how it worked. And it worked really, really well. Is that a card that Mikey's going to pull? If they're trailing in a playoff match, I think absolutely
Mhm.
it's something he's going to try along the way. But I don't know, just that I don't want to read too much into one person's one comment, but it is the person talking about himself. And all of the excitement we had coming out of Dynamo, like Pellegrino and Ingvartsen, we might have a 9 combo now. It's like, no, we're back to rickety Marcus. Can he play? How many minutes in those old bones? And meanwhile, we've got to figure it out. And Pellegrino's a wing substitute, which causes as many problems as it offers solutions, because we've got 2 wings. They're both our designated players. It's hard to bring in a wing. So thank you for your honesty, Amal, and nothing against you. But dang it.
Yeah.
Light that Ingvartsen candle and add a second.
And if it does happen, right? Like if it does happen where you do have to take Chucky out and Amal comes in, I think that's fine. I mean, there could be a potential where you bring Amal in, and why not slide Chucky in the middle?
Because
It
it's
could,
the last game. Because
yeah.
you can't be
You can't,
experimenting.
yeah.
No,
And
it's
you know,
too late.
it is too late. But if you're playing out of desperation and you're down a goal, you might just have the best 3 forward players that you have right there.
I think well,
Amal, Chucky, and
yeah,
Dreyer.
Ankel sees time in that case.
Yeah, yeah,
Ankel sees time. You take out a
Mhm.
midfielder. Again, if you see Boateng out there, that's what nobody wants to see from here on out. No offense to Boateng, but like he's a firefighter, as Mikey himself has said.
Yeah.
You need an arsonist in that position to light the fires. Like if
Right.
we're seeing, Boateng up there, it's like, oh, it's safe, it's this. Alex Maiton, again, another winger who
Mhm.
kind of become quiet and picked up an injury, but this 9 position, this is concerning, and they've they come out victorious. They've won this entire season without a 9, right? So it's like, well, they've been doing it. They've been practicing with one hand behind their back this whole time. So what's the difference, right? So uh, I don't know
I
what the concern level is for everyone.
I do wonder what the tactics are gonna be when your back is up against the wall, though. Like how, if you're down a goal, what are you gonna, like, how are you gonna, who are you gonna put in those spots, and in the midfield too, like right behind them. It's gonna be interesting, like who's gonna be subbed in, who's gonna be subbed out, and just try to pack in as much offensive threat as you can. And I kind of want to see desperate Mikey at that point and try to pull one off. Get a
May we never find
2 to
out, is
1.
what I would
Yeah.
say. May we play with the lead the entire playoff and never find out
Dreyer,
what
just
that
score a
strategy
brace.
is.
Just score a brace, dude.
Well, let's wrap up with a quick look at decision day. And we talked about all the permutations at the start of the show. All that's left is to talk about Timbers. And the thing to know about Timbers, I think, 2 things. First, when these 2 teams played on August 23rd, they played to a 0-0 draw. So that was one of those matches where Timbers sat back and SDFC had chances and nothing really happened along the way. That draw, if it happens again on Saturday, as we've shown, pretty all but doesn't quite, but pretty much locks in that the two teams play each other in the playoffs. But Alex, Portland has not played well since that match. 1 win, 3 losses, 2 draws. Not really scoring that much either. So Timbers, they're looking to find form in their final match at home. They want to put on a show for their fans to feel good going into the playoffs, but it doesn't feel like there's a ton of pressure either way vertically on them in the standings here for this match. It's much more about just they want to play well so that they can start playing well.
Yeah, that's right. And I think last week a couple weeks ago when they played at Sounders, they had a 1-0 loss, and that was the first time they lost to the Sounders in 8 years at home. So that kind of tells you kind of where they're at. Of this is still a team trying to figure things out. They brought in some new players, some new international players. They actually have some players that are hurt, like Mateus Rojas, who might be questionable again for Saturday. Zach McGraw, James Patimus. They were out in the last game against the Sounders, so they had their best team out there in that starting 11. That was their best team, and they didn't have any other backups really. They really had no options. And uh which Neville is this? One of the Nevilles.
Bill.
Neville. Yeah, Bill. Yeah, that guy. Neville had like really no options on the bench. He actually waited really pretty late in this match to make a substitution, and by then it was like too late. He just didn't have any options. So yeah, they're still trying to figure things out. If they end up losing, they might be in a tough spot in the playoffs. They're probably going to have to play in that play-in game. But yeah, this is a team that this is Neville's style, that he likes to be defensive. They're very comfortable playing in their half. They're gonna clear everything out, kick everything out of play. Um, that's their style. They're gonna try to catch you offsides with their offside trap. It's just it could be a very annoying team. It's because they're not really trying to score. They're trying to play tricks on you. They're trying to foul you. They're trying to do all these other things instead of playing the game right in front of you. So that's kind of what we're going to see in Portland. I feel very comfortable that it's too bad we had a break in between. I felt very comfortable with the Houston game, leading up to this game, but break happened, momentum's lost. Now you got to pick up that momentum up again. But I did like what I saw out of Luca, out of Pellegrino, out of Dreyer. I think that everything was connecting and flowing the way they want it to be. And now it's like, okay, you got to restart that fire up again on Saturday night.
Yeah, this Portland team was kind of like a flex tape situation, especially during that the trade deadline, where they had some new pieces come in. They had new components to try to make up some of the talent that they needed, and I don't think they quite gelled enough as as far as it goes in comparison as a team aspect that SanDiego.FC already has. But as you mentioned it, right? Like Portland's an annoying team. It's the play style. Like it's not the best. Dark arts are summoned, but isn't that what all the players have been mentioning down to Sverskov? Like, yeah, we've been playing a lot of these annoying teams that just kind of sit back and clear the ball and clear their lines and trying to get you on a counterattack, and that's annoying. Like, okay, at this point, then shouldn't you have a counterattack or a solution for that? And I would hope so. And we'll see what that means and how that means that SanDiego.FC has learned and grown through the season. Because yes, you can have your own style, but are you just going to kind of run into this wall over and over again, and you're going to have a tie? Eventually, you're going to maybe meet this team or this style of team, in playoffs and ties aren't a thing. You're going to have to find a solution. And why not try to find a solution here on the last dress rehearsal going into playoffs on the final day of the regular season against Portland?
Kind of the last thing I would say about this is just almost, twinning the circle here and talking about everyone's permutations. If you do look at it from Portland's perspective, they cannot catch Austin. They can win with Austin losing and both get to 47 points, but Austin would have a 1-win lead on the tiebreaker. So they cannot finish 6th. The only way for them to finish 8th is to get absolutely blown out and have Dallas, if Dallas is playing Vancouver. Mm-hmm. So a situation where Portland loses and Dallas wins, that means we finished first in the conference by definition. That's literally what we want to have happen. But if that did happen, Dallas is 1 win behind Portland. So then they'd go to goal differential, and Dallas is 1 goal behind Portland in goal differential. So if they happen to win by 1 and Portland lost by 1, then it goes to the 4th tiebreak, and that is goals for per game. And Dallas is far enough behind in that 0.09 that they'd have to score a lot of goals. Like they'd have to score a lot of goals. Maybe win 7-6 while Portland lost 1-0, or something like that. I don't know what the exact math is, but it's not super, super, super close. So in all likelihood, unless it's a complete poop the bed situation, Portland will finish 7th. And given Dallas's opponent, Vancouver, the confidence level is and what they're playing for, the confidence level should be pretty high. So I feel very strong about what I said earlier. Portland is playing for their form because they're at home and they have been struggling. They are not playing really for anything else. They're playing for their form, and that matters. That matters a lot, especially if it's against a team you're about to play. The last piece of this is Minnesota plays Galaxy, the crappy Galaxy. So you can almost write in Minnesota's 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
And with LAFC playing Colorado, a team that is tied with RSL, they're going to give them a hell of a fight. There's no question about that. Right now, Colorado is behind 1 win on the tiebreaker. That's why they're behind RSL. So they're going to be fighting to win. No question about it. But that opens up space for Sonny and Boanga and everyone else. So, I do think there's going to be vertical pressure on SDFC from below on decision day. I think the club and the nerds and the quants who are paying attention to this and not bothering Mikey Varas with any of the information, I think they've come to the solution that a point is essential on Saturday because the most likely scenario is both 4 and 3 get wins. And that puts pressure on you to, at the very minimum, get a point to finish 3rd. Otherwise, you fall all the way to 4th.
Yeah, I'm pretty much counting on LAFC and Minnesota winning, so I feel like the San Diego just needs to win. The thing with Vancouver and Dallas, Dallas has actually looked pretty good. They only have 1 loss in 9 matches, and yeah, ever since they got rid of Luchi Acosta, yeah, they looked a lot better as a team. So I don't bet around here or put money on sporting games, but
smart man.
I would bet for the upset. I honestly would. I'm pretty confident in that one.
Well, let's see what our beloved Cromatos can do out there in Portland. 6:00 Saturday, decision day. It all goes down. Chromaniacs will be back to figure it all out with some form of post-game coverage. I don't know if it's going to be Saturday night or if it's going to be Sunday or if we do the Monday hybrid thing again. I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to have post-game coverage, and we're going to sort that on our side based on everyone's schedule and whatnot. As mentioned, I'm at Wave and they kick an hour later on Saturday night, so it won't be immediately after the match. We can promise you that. We can only promise where it won't be right after the match. Where it will be, it's somewhere in there, somewhere in between. Before we get to our next episode, episode 20, which is obviously a playoff preview.
Look at that.
How sick is that, right?
So cool.
Yeah.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, right? This could have been it.
Right.
This could have been the hey guys, off season, but it's not. There's a lot more soccer in San Diego to happen at Snapdragon Stadium, and hopefully it's 2 teams, but at least for sure it'll be San Diego FC.
Yeah,
What a season.
yeah, it's been a great season, and man, yeah, it for when you pay attention to the league, over the years, yeah, it doesn't take that much to try to go for a play-in game. You need at least 40 points, and we have 60, so we cleared that by 20. So yeah, it any season, anytime you can make the playoffs with a pretty decent competitive team.
Well, this team's been way more than that, and that set our sights so much higher. Let's see what Decision Day brings, and it literally could bring first place in the Western Conference. It could bring a CONCACAF Champions League berth guaranteed for 2026. It could bring neutrality. It could bring disappointment. It's all on the line on Saturday. But the one thing we know for sure, there will be home field advantage in the first round of the Audi MLS Cup playoffs. No matter what, game 1 of the playoffs will be at Snapdragon. And if needed, game 3 will be at Snapdragon when it's all on the line. So exciting news for San Diego FC fans. As we wrap things up, a reminder, you can follow us on Instagram at the Chromaniacs. And Tony, how can everybody support what you and Chiva, the world traveler, and Abe are doing at SanDiego.Futbol?
Well, you mentioned it, SanDiego.Futbol, the name of the website and the name of the platform on YouTube, Spotify, every single audio platform. Check it out, SanDiego.Futbol for all your San Diego football needs. Hey, Alex.
Yeah, and I'm over at Substack at Chromaniacs FC, and I'll have next week. I'm going to talk about my journey to Portland and hanging out with some of the people that made a trip, and also some locals. I'm going to be seeing Keith out there. He's going to be hanging out with me, and
Nice.
and yeah, we're going to see a pretty good match. I can tell you that.
Well, you can follow me on Instagram at 619 Sports and Life. You can also follow Padres Hot Tub on Instagram as well, where Terrible SDFC Memes puts on a different hat and helps us pull some great clips. So check that out, Padres Hot Tub on Instagram. You can support Padres Hot Tub, patreon.com/Padres Hot Tub, or just listen to it free wherever you get this podcast, including YouTube. You can find every episode of Padres Hot Tub free to consume. You can check that out. Also, and last but not least, I'll be recording a new episode of Crossing Streams tomorrow with my good friend Chris Reed as we look at a great show, The Lowdown, which is on Hulu, Disney Plus, also FX is where it originally airs. But we'll be covering the first 5 episodes of that, plus the season finale of Platonic Season 2 on Apple TV. Past episodes, season finale of Peacemaker, what's going on with Task, an incredible show, Alien Earth. You can find it all at the Crossing Streams feed, always free and available wherever you get your podcasts. And with that, we're done for episode 19 of the Chromaniacs. Hope you had a great week, and until we chat to you next on post-game coverage, for Tony Sanchez and Alex Pena, I'm Craig Elston saying, Vamos, SDFC.